Margo. Thanks for joining me here.
Hi, Tosca. Nice to see you.
I know I've missed you. I really have. Um, so I'm excited to interview you about your experience at the firehouse. And I guess we can start off with how did you decide to go?
It has been my wish to go somewhere for years. I thought if I could just go somewhere for a week, maybe two, without temptations, I could get this weight under control. And so when I saw that there was going to be a program, I immediately responded back. After checking that it wasn't a scam, I had actually forgotten how to eat properly, which, I mean, I started when I was 18 years old, going to health clubs because I wanted to audition to be a majorette in college. And so I just needed to get in a little bit more shape. Then after that, I had tried different diets and read so much I knew. And that's what I kept telling myself, I know what to do. But then it really did reach a point where I couldn't eat properly. I didn't even know how to begin. I would start something for a couple of days and then it was out the window. So I thought this might be my chance.
Yes. And you were saying you had to verify it wasn't a scam.
Right. I emailed from the to the company that was advertising this and asked if this was legitimate. And I got a response back that it was legitimate. I was not being shanghaied, which became a catchphrase while we were
Shanghai, but I can't say it the way you do. Shanghai.
Shanghai.
And that is how our van got its name, the Shanghai Express.
Yes, right. Yes.
White van. Don't get into a white van with a bunch of strangers.
I took a picture of the van and sent it to my sister just in case. And she said, I can't quite read that license plate number. Can you take another picture? So
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But you made it and you decided that it was worth it to come. And
right.
And so what do you think in retrospect now that you've gone back home?
Yeah, I was also the months before going, people would ask what am I doing, what I've been doing, and I would say I'm just wasting away in my living room, thinking that was a funny take on wasting away in Margaritaville, but it was so true. I was just wasting away. And now it's amazing. It's just hard to express how much it's changed my life. I'm excited now about everything. Some of the revelations I had during meditation times and meetings, I'm working on those now. For instance, one thing was when I would come in the door from errands or shopping, I would just sit down in my easy chair and start snacking. And I noticed that when we came back from a field trip, when we walked in the door at the Far House, it just hit me, where's my chair? I want to sit down and snack. And so that really plugged that thought. Now when I come in, I get busy doing something else. It's just so many ways that it has enriched my life and gave me a new lease on life, which is, after I read the brochure, I think I put that as an answer, that I'm looking for a new lease on life, and it has given me that.
That's great. That's great. What do you think, to you, what was like the most like helpful thing that we did at the firehouse that you think brought that kind of change?
Well, it was kind of everything combined. The starting with the nightly meetings, just having to go introspective and express myself with that, which I did pass a lot of times, but
Nothing to see here. That was your favorite line.
move along. But struggling through that, the meetings, just learning about the people that started this program and what to do, how to keep it going. Just kind of
you're referring to like the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, the people that started
yes,
the 12-step program. Yeah.
Yes, and meeting with your board of directors, getting their input. And so it culminated in toward the last days, I got a text saying, we're going on a trip. Who wants to go? I was down in the basement and I texted back, I do, wait for me. So I got my hat and my jacket. By the time I got everything together, went up the stairs, it was like home alone. Nobody was there. And so I said, well, this is a good time to feel sorry for myself. And I need a good cry. I'm all by myself. But then a voice said, you need to go for a walk. I said, okay, I'll go for a walk. And then I came, I don't know if this is the right time to tell, this was the big thing. I came to this 50-foot mountain and 50 foot. But,
I thought it was 40. It's growing. The story is growing. It started at 40 feet. Now it's 50. Okay.
Yes, but yeah. So I thought, well, Heidi had been talking about a mountaintop experience. What after this? What will be your mountain? I thought this might be it. So, you know, I put my arms up. I said, I'm going to climb this. Well, I froze because I didn't know how to climb a mountain. And I had been very sedentary for months, years. And then the voice said, just one step at a time, one step at a time. And so I would put my arm out and I thought, oh, Lord, this is my weakest member of my body. There's no way I could pull myself up. But gradually, I drug myself that far and then another one and used my legs to push myself up and just found, I remembered from watching documentaries, you got to find your handhold and your footholds. So I just kept going. It took me almost an hour.
What?
It did. And compared to the last time I did it, 2 minutes.
Right.
But I think it was more a mental block of being able to do it as well as physical. And then, you know, I also used my spiritual knowledge and to get me up there. Got to the top, and by the time I got up there, it was the mountaintop experience of all. I was just so overwhelmed with all those three things coming together and accomplishing it. I was just tearing up and just thinking I can accomplish anything I put my mind to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That was so fun. And then I did post a picture of that on the Facebook group of you.
Yes.
But that was the second time you climbed it with Lori.
Right. The second time I got a camera crew to come with me. Y'all have got to take my picture up on this mountain. So other people came. And then when I saw them just scurrying up like it was nothing, I thought, well, it was for me. It was hard for me.
But. Yeah, well, good that you had the first experience all by yourself, not comparing yourself to anybody else. It was just you and the rock.
A good thing I was left alone. That would not have happened. Yeah. And that's been the foundation of my recovery because that wraps everything up.
And I was feeling bad about leaving you behind.
You should. You
It was a good,
should.
it worked out.
You need to leave somebody behind the next time. You never know.
You never know what they're gonna have to go through, which is actually true, I think. Like a lot of time, the pain when we face up to ourselves and our aloneness, that God works through that.
Oh,
And
and this is the rock right after I
yeah,
was walking. I
put
was
it in
walking
front of you or something. You got the blur vision. Oh,
when
there
I
you
was walking back to the house. I found this rock, so I've kept it. It's a memory.
go. Nice, nice. That's great. I'm so glad that, I mean, I was like, when you were talking about the 40-foot rock you were climbing and at night leaves, I was like, what was she doing? Like, I hope I don't have any liability for rock climbing. I don't know if your program director would have approved that behavior, but you know, then when I actually saw the rock, it didn't seem quite as dangerous as it was.
Somebody else with more mathematical sense estimated it to be about 15 feet. But yeah, the maintenance man was my witness that I did in fact climb it.
Yes.
Because they were coming in and I was sprawled across this big giant rock and they stopped. Ma'am, do you need any help? But no, but if I'm still up here on your way out, yes.
Oh, that's funny. So any other good memories you want to share? Because my memories of you involve some dancing for sure. So and I'm like,
Love to dance.
yeah,
Right. And it was just kind of quiet around the house. And there were things we could do, but we just needed somebody to initiate it. So I think one of the members taught line dancing, so she got us started.
yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. We did some line dancing. I learned the charcuterie, or what was that with two people, a
Oh, the
partner?
schottish.
The schottish.
Yeah,
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 that was
yeah.
fun.
That was one that I randomly knew. Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was the dance, but
Oh, yes.
we're not broadcasting the dance.
Right. That
That
was,
that was
yeah, I like ad-libbing dance with people and just bringing out all my
it was fun.
moods.
It was fun. And here's something else. I actually brought this.
The Tonys. I told my teacher friends about the Tonys and
Tony's getting an advertisement right now. This came
yes,
from the firehouse. We still got some in here.
I put that
Good
on
stuff.
every meal, every miss, not breakfast yet, but
It's a little bit spicy if anybody wants to
yeah, it
know.
keeps
They
your
wanna get-
sinuses, clears your head, spices up your food.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
on the spicy side, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been out for a month, and how has it been being back home? Like, do you miss us? Do you miss me?
Yes, I do. I miss you a lot. In fact, let's see, I have some tips for the next group of people.
Oh,
Yeah, these are my tips. First of all, take a picture of the pantry and the fridge to know what's in there. Start modifying your recipes now so you'll have something familiar to cook. Bring your music with ear pods. Familiarize yourself with the kitchen and label the cabinets. Get to know your fellow contestants. Be nice to Tosca. When she's making up to you, she'll pet your arms like this. And she would give up herself to save you. And
oh,
that's why I miss you so much.
oh, that's so
Awesome.
sweet. We did have quite a time together, I think.
Yes.
I really do miss actually everyone. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next event, getting to know new people. That's
Oh,
nice of you
yeah.
to share some wisdom. Yes, the kitchen and the refrigerator. Wow. Although I don't know if your picture of what's in the fridge would have been valid, that thing would have been outdated in like, a half an hour, because
Well, that's
we
true.
were constantly shifting. There was food that we would prepare. We prepared our food in advance and put our name on it and labeled it for dinner, so it was all ready for us. But then somebody else would go through the fridge. Who knows where that dish that
Yeah.
you labeled would end up.
Well, and then I mean the freezer too, because I didn't even learn till about the 5th day that we had shrimp.
In the freezer.
Found out about the shrimp.
Yeah, it was. And you did some cooking for the whole group. We did a family dinner one Sunday,
Oh,
and
the family
that's
dinner.
when this stuff came into play.
That was another fun time. We had a family dinner every Saturday night, a barbecue. We had what's in it, chicken, hamburgers. And then when we were at the store, I was looking for the Tonys. I found Paul Prudhomme's blackened fish, because we blacken red fish here and it's just delicious. Well, we had no red fish, so we used tilapia, and people smelled it and they thought, oh, well, you had that big box of fish and thought, hey, might be
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
So I had like 2 or 3 pans going on the stove and put the black and red fish seasoning on there, and you're supposed to get the skillet real hot. So it was some modifications, but it was close enough. It was pretty much all gone. I'm not sure how many I cooked, about 30, 40 of them.
Wish there was more leftovers. It was good.
Yeah,
That was really
that
great.
was fun. Little
I
taste.
have a picture of that too. I'm going to post that up.
Okay, yeah.
I posed. For some reason, I was not cooking, but for some reason, I got in the picture with you.
Yeah, well,
My version of cooking is not definitely not
well, it was,
full cooking.
you gave us what we needed. I learned how to cut open and cook a spaghetti squash, and I've done that several times. My husband loves it. We put some marinara sauce on it, cut up some chicken,
There you go.
sprinkle some Parmesan cheese,
Yep. Boom.
lasagna.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My
And the lemon powder, I learned a lot of new ways to cook and seasonings. The tea, licorice tea, caffeine free, and it's almost like a dessert for me. So,
I do not like that.
oh yeah, well, I love it.
So, yeah, well, I am so glad that I was able to interview you today, and I just I hope that your wisdom and your previous experience will, help people that are out there. Do you have any last things you want to add? Anything? I know you probably got
Yeah,
stuff around you that Margo was like quite the note taker.
yes,
So she's the most. Show them your binder, although I don't know if you can
yeah,
with your blur on. We made this. No, you gotta scoot it forward maybe.
when we were talking about
That's
the
little Margo right there.
yeah, and then of course we had our tabs, and I kind of like made a diary of every day.
Yeah, it's all
day.
blurry. You're giving us a
Yep.
blurry
Well, that's
picture.
probably good. But I did want to mention the beginning, just that Tosca and Karen really wanted us to get those first 2 steps to understand what a food addict is and all the ins and outs about that. So we were just inputted with all that information, and then we really had to understand our belief in our higher power, and she really wanted us to get those 2 down before we moved on, and we did.
That's the foundation, right, of everything we do.
Yes, and let's see, did I mention there was a lot of expressions we learned, and one of them is, I have a disease that tells me I don't have a disease. And this one I made up myself. I think I don't have a patent on it or anything, but because I did have a little break and I should have called somebody. So don't fall, just call. So,
oh, that is. I think you could patent that, Margo. I've never heard it. Don't
Yes.
call, just call.
And wait, let's see. Well, you may want to edit this out. We were doing the survey. This was a funny thing when we were determining if we were a food addict. And then on the other side was a checklist for being an alcoholic. Well, I accidentally checked those things because, after the 5th or 6th day of reading and meetings, I was kind of fuzzy and I actually rated myself an alcoholic and didn't think. I was writing in my journal, yes, I am a food addict and I'm also an alcoholic. I didn't even think anything about it until Tosca, Margo, you're an alcoholic? I went, no. So
You're so funny. Yeah, I didn't think we were treating alcoholism. You were like, checked all the wrong boxes.
right. Okay. And the last thing is the expense. It was, but it was worth every penny to me in every kind of way. It's a lifelong, whole new life of a lifelong plan, and it works. And it works for your whole life, not just food,
Right.
spiritual, mentally, physically,
Right.
getting your life in order, getting your house in order, and finances, everything. So it's worth it.
Oh, I'm
Save
so
up
glad.
if you need. Take a little loan out, a small, if you can get a low interest loan if you need to, or whatever. It's
Sell your furniture. No, I'm just joking.
well,
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm really glad. It was
yeah,
it
me
was a
too.
it was a wonderful time, and I'm glad that you're doing so well out there. So
Yes.
good to hear from you, and I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye, Tosca.
All right, bye.